Hi everyone, my name is M. Hags Art. I'm a traditional artist and I have done traditional style illustration and bullet journaling, and today I'm going to be talking about how I have focused a lot of my social media content creation in the past year on Instagram and what that experience was like for me, especially as a small artist, and whether or not I think it was worth it and if I plan on continuing focusing on Instagram going forward. So first I want to start by saying that I actually enjoy using Instagram, which I know may sound like a crazy statement in the year of 2023, where I feel like most people unanimously hate Instagram. Don't get me wrong, the algorithm is extremely frustrating, but there are things about Instagram that I actually do enjoy. I did not go into 2023 planning on using Instagram so much and posting so much, but truly it just came out of me doing it more and just finding enjoyment out of it. So how I approached using Instagram this year was, in the beginning, I thought I would focus mostly on doing like doodles and fan art. If you go back to what my profile looks like from the beginning of the year, it is quite different from how it looks now. I was focusing mostly on the drawing. I didn't have really an aesthetic or a background going on. I had just like the white of the page. That was the background of most of my images. And then I moved to a new sketchbook, and I've been focusing a lot more on the aesthetics of the background and just the overall aesthetics of my profile. So beyond that, I also make very low-key reels that are basically what I consider just moving pictures, right? Because Instagram is no longer a picture social media. Basically, it is focusing very heavily on reels. I don't tend to do any fancy editing or process videos just because I like to draw and relax on the couch most of the time. I work a 40+ hour job a week, and I also have a very long commute, and I have a life. My drawing time is generally my downtime, my relaxed time, and I don't want to like add the stress of taking these fancy extensive videos while I'm doing that. I just want to enjoy it, and if I need to take a video after the piece is done, that's what I've been doing. I will say preemptively I would have grown more if I had done more of those videos, because I do know that better editing and process videos tend to perform better, but that truthfully would have been a deal breaker for me in how much I was using Instagram, because I just don't find that enjoyable. I want to go back to the point I touched on about actually transitioning more into focusing on what my profile looks like. So where my profile is at right now, I'm actually pretty happy with it. I think it's very colorful, it's very warm. You get the nature in the pieces, or you get the nature in the background. You can start to see my desk setup. These are things that I've like seen in other folks' posts that I follow and admire the way that their stuff looks. So I've been kind of trying to implement it into my own. And I know some people say that you shouldn't stress about the way that your profile looks, like what happened to the days where we just share our art, it doesn't matter what it looks like. And I used to not care so much about that. Like I would just post whatever, and I didn't really worry about profile cohesion, especially with like the fact that I tend to draw so many different things. I always dreamed of having a profile that had a very nice cohesive looking aesthetic. So I found it actually made it more fun for me and actually less stressful to focus on the way that everything looked. And I know that sounds like counterintuitive, but truly like this is where it just comes down to the fact that it all depends on what works for you and how it makes you feel. So yeah, people say don't stress too much about the aesthetics or the look of things, but if it's making you more stressed by having an uncohesive profile, then like it's truly actually not doing its purpose, right? So now I'm gonna talk a little bit about my growth on Instagram over the year, just so you can kind of know what I'm talking about and what I'm working with here. So for my Instagram followers, I started the year 2023 with 392 followers, and now I believe I'm at like 640. So basically adding, I think, about 250 subscribers, which is the most growth I've ever gotten in a year in Instagram. And then I just want to kind of compare to my YouTube, which I feel like I did the opposite. I didn't do so much on YouTube as I have in the past because I stopped making my monthly bullet journaling content. So therefore I didn't have that monthly video to fall back on to at least keep some momentum. So I started 2023 with 351 YouTube followers, and now I'm at, I think, almost 500. I think I'm at like 490. Actually, it might be just 490. I think that's like, am I doing math right? Because 100 before, so it's like 150 followers, right? So obviously about 100 less than Instagram. I made about 70 reels this year, which when you say that, you're like, that's not that many, but it is averaging about 1 or 2 a week, which again, for myself, I do not do this for a living. Like, I have a full-time job. I feel like that's pretty decent. And I also generally shared at least 1 picture a week. So I'm saying I think on average, I was uploading to Instagram like 2 to 3 times a week, which again, I think is pretty good, especially considering in the past, I've maybe only uploaded to Instagram like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks even. My reels went from averaging about 100 views per reel, and now when I upload one, I can usually expect to get about 200 or 300 views. Of course, I'd like that to be more. It's still not like amazing numbers for the amount of followers I have. Like, in a perfect world, if you have 600 followers on Instagram, you should be expecting at least 600 views for your reels, because you would hope that all your followers are seeing it, right? But as we know, the algorithm. And then every once in a while, I get one that hits about 1,000. So I actually did some of the math. I made 20 reels that hit over 1K views. So if you do the math, that's about a 28% chance of a reel hitting over 1,000 views. Out of my 70 reels, I only made 3 that got over 10,000 views. So that's only like a 4% chance. And again, you would hope with you funneling out as many as like almost 100 reels, like 1 or 2 reels a week, that you'd be getting a little more momentum, more views. So again, this is where some of my frustration with Instagram starts to trickle in. And I don't have confirmed cemented numbers on this, but I do feel like I would gain anywhere from like 2 to 5 new followers per the lower reels. Those ones that hit like a couple 10,000, I believe I gained a good handful of followers from each of those. So again, if you're looking for followers, it can be a worth it endeavor. But I will say, as much as I am very happy with the growth that I've had, gaining almost 350, so, oh my gosh, I always get the lingo backwards. YouTube is subscribers, Instagram is followers. I always get that mixed up. So, what was I saying? As happy as I am that I have 350 new followers on Instagram, and there is something to show for the effort that I've done this year, and I appreciate you all if you're any of the people watching. I do appreciate you all for following me. It does mean a lot. But just to put it in perspective, I will say that none of these people have translated to loyal followers. What I mean by that is none of these people who randomly follow me based off a reel, because Instagram will tell you that, right? Like, they'll literally say, this person followed you from your reel. So even though people have followed me off of these reels that I've made, I would say none of them have like consistently commented on any of my things there afterward, or engaged with me consistently afterward. Maybe I'm getting their likes on future things as well, but that's pretty much it. And also too, if you're a person who is looking to build up your business, or try to like get commissions or something like that, no one ever comments asking like if I have a shop, if I do commissions. The main point being that the general engagement is just still very low. So even though you might be getting all these followers, they're kind of surface level basically. Also, I know that I've heard from other folks that ad revenue is really hard to get on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you have to be like invited to be part of that program, and I don't even know if there's like strict rules on how that happens. It could have also changed very well since I've like heard all that. Maybe it's gotten better, I don't know. I just hear that it's hard and that it's pretty rare to get a decent amount of money from a single reel. I also just want to say, like, every algorithm is bad. Like, I know people have their problems with YouTube. I know people have their problems with TikTok. Like, every algorithm sucks, right? But I think what people are getting especially frustrated with over Instagram is that it was meant to be a picture sharing format, and then you're punishing us for wanting to just share pictures, especially as artists. Like, I know so many people complain about how, like, we're artists, we're not video content producers. I think I enjoyed a little bit more is because I did go to school for video production. It is something I like doing. Even the fact that I enjoy it, it is still like a pain in the ass, right? Like I described earlier, I don't like filming the entire time I'm trying to do artwork because that's my time for me and to enjoy myself. So I think if you're going through similar feelings I've been going through with all this, maybe you have enjoyed Instagram, or maybe you've been enjoying YouTube, but you feel this pressure to be on Instagram, whatever it may be. Ask yourself at the end of the day, where would you rather build your following? I also just want to point out that this is not only a small artist's problem on Instagram. So obviously I'm very small. I have under 1,000 followers. But then there's someone like Little Star Nerd, who, if you follow her on Instagram or YouTube, I believe she has a couple thousand followers. Here, I can literally tell you in a second. Okay, so Little Star Nerd has almost 75,000 subscribers on YouTube, and she has 102,000 followers on Instagram. So she actually has more followers on Instagram than she does on YouTube. Anyway, she did a video recently, and I'll link it in the description below in case you want to watch it, where she focused on reels for a month. I think she made a reel every single day for a month. And she talks about what growth she saw by the end. She is a full-time artist, so she does have a little bit more time to designate to it. And the fact that she has that and still saw very little growth from doing a month of reels is just insane to me. That final point just being that don't beat yourself up if your reels aren't seeing the results that you want them to see, because I truly don't think it's just small artists. I think it's a lot of artists. Like, yeah, Little Star Nerd isn't someone like Sam Does Arts who has like 1 million followers, but I'm sure he's seeing the difference too. You know, it's everywhere. So even though I've enjoyed using Instagram for the last year and actually enjoyed making reels for the most part, it just doesn't have the same gratifying feeling as I think finishing a YouTube video does, at least for me. So this kind of segueing into my final point, which is I think I'm going to be focusing on YouTube in 2024, which I'm actually very excited about. I feel like I've been neglecting YouTube this year, which does make me sad. It's funny, even though I feel like I have more mutuals over on Instagram, so I feel a little more sense of community, there's just something more permanent feeling about YouTube. I can't think of the right word or the right way to describe it. I feel like I post a video and there's more chances of people continuing to find it, whereas like once you post a photo or a reel on Instagram, if people don't find it within like a week, I'd say, they forget about it. It gets buried. Also, when someone finds you on YouTube, they'll be more likely to go back and look through your like backlog and maybe watch your old videos. This by all means does not mean I'm gonna totally stop using Instagram. I think I'm gonna use it more as a portfolio, I guess. I'm not gonna worry so much about creating reels anymore. Even though I did enjoy it and had fun while it lasted, I do feel myself slipping into I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I think after a year of doing it, it's gotten old for me, truthfully. And truly, like, something that's kept me going on Instagram or just wanting to check back is all of my mutuals. So I just want to give a huge shout out to a lot of my mutuals. Maybe I'll list your names on the screen right now, right here, in case you're watching. Also to give you all a shout out, anyone who watches me, you should all give them a follow on Instagram, because these are people, they have been my ride or dies like since day one on Instagram. You know, I hope I've made it clear how much you've all meant to me. Apologies if you consider me a mutual and I leave your name off. I want to be able to go on Instagram still and catch up with my mutuals, see what they're posting, see what they're doing, and support them. Yeah, I definitely plan to continue using Instagram to also support other people, support other artists, because I think that's important. Like, you don't always have to be an active person posting for your own profile, but you can still go on and support other people. I think that's important to talk about too, that people don't talk about enough. So how to end this video? Great question. I think the point being that if you're a small artist and you really truly do want to grow on Instagram, posting at least one reel a week will definitely help you grow a little bit. I gained almost 350 followers this year, and I posted about 1 or 2 reels a week, and that is the most growth I've seen in my entire Instagram history over the course of just 1 year. I will say too, as you post more consistently, this goes for any platform I find, the next 100 is always easier than the past 100. And that also probably means that you're drawing more and your skills growing. So keep that in mind as well. But again, just asking yourself, where do you want your following to be? What do you want to focus on? And don't worry so much about whether you feel like it needs to be Instagram or you feel like it needs to be YouTube. It sounds so cliche, but do what makes you happy. Truly, this life is too unpredictable, too short to torture yourself with a social media that doesn't serve you. I also just want to add that if you don't want to make money doing social media as an artist or even as an artist, that's okay too. And it's totally valid to just want to share your art for fun. But I guess my point is emphasizing the fact that the minute it's not fun, stop doing it. Like, you can still be making art and not have to constantly share it and still be enjoying it, right? So if you're only sharing your art for the joy of it and building some community or something like that, the minute you feel any negativity about that on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever it may be, like, I just full send stop. Like, you know, it can be kind of a grieving period of letting that go, but I think, again, it's worth it for you to reflect on what do you want to be getting out of social media. And if you're not getting those things, that's when you assess your relationship. I think that's all I have to say. All I have to say is if I didn't just talk for like however long. I hope you got some value out of this, especially if you're a fellow small artist. I know it's definitely tough out there for us, but if you just keep trying, keep improving your drawing skill, you will hopefully get there one day, and you will hopefully do it on the platform that makes you the happiest. All right, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you like videos like this. Like I said, I'm gonna be focusing more on YouTube. I'm gonna probably be doing more chatty videos like this in the future. I'm gonna start doing more sketchbook videos like my previous one, if you have not watched that yet. And then I might be getting back into bullet journaling. So yeah, like I said, subscribe if you liked the video, like the video if you liked the video, leave a comment about your thoughts on all of this. I would love to hear it. I could talk about this stuff endlessly if you couldn't tell. And that is all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and take care until next time.